Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whatever time of day it is, I'm glad you're here. So, I'm going to show you how I did one of the things that are in this journal today. Since I still have it here, it hasn't gone to its forever home yet. So these, if you watch the flip through, or I don't know if the flip through will be before this or not, but we'll see. Anyway, these pockets that I made here, this is what I'm going to show you guys today. I wanted to show you what the finished product looks like. So these are tons of space in these gusseted pockets that I made from envelopes. So there's 4 of them on here. So they open up really well. You can put lots of goodies in there. And I put magnetic closures on these. So there's a magnet inside here. And this is a snippet roll that I marked where I needed to have the magnets on both sides, and then magnet underneath here, underneath the snippet roll as well. And this is just glued down with a fabric fusion or fabric tack, whatever really heavy duty glue you want to use, especially when you're working with magnets, to make sure that nothing's going to pull up. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you how to make these pockets. So I'm going to set this off to the side so you can see how we do it. So I grabbed a couple different envelopes and you can see kind of the process. So here is one that's finished because I was making, this was my prototype that I was using in that book. So I used some different color envelope that I had. This is some of the different stages to get to what we need. So first off, you're going to find whatever envelope size you want, and then you're going to figure out how big you want your pocket to be. Now I'm going to make one from this guy because I'm going to make this to go into a little journal that I'm working on. So I was just digging through my envelopes to see what I had that would work great. And I want this to be tall. You can make them whatever size you want. So, and I'm also thinking I might try and do something with leaving this flap intact, but I am on the fence on that yet. So anyway, first things first, you're going to cut down, see this envelope? Its flap is already adhered. So I just have like this big pocket. Let's move these friends out of the way, and I'm going to cut this down to the right size here. So I had originally made the other ones in the book to fit note cards. So they needed to be about 3 inches. That's the size of a note card, which is the same size as like a recipe card. So for your reference, note cards, recipe cards are usually about the same size. They're about 3 by 5. I'm going to make this one a little bit taller. So let's do a 4-inch. We're going to do 4. So I'm going to just completely cut the top off of this. Like so. Okay. And our flap is completely glued down on there, as you can see. Now, I'm still just on the fence about this friend. I think I'm going to leave it. Let's try something different with this guy because I want this to be this tall. I like how this is looking here. So we're going to leave that one for now. So that's all you need your cutter for. You could use a scissors if you don't have a paper cutter. Then the next step, I realized it was easier to nip the corner some and take out a little bit of space before we move on to the next step. So I have this cutter and I'm going to use the biggest size to go in here and clip these corners off like so. Let's just go ahead and do the other one. You know what? Let's do this one with a scissor so you can see that you don't need a cutter. So I am going to nip this corner like so, and then I'm going to take it and put it which way? So flip it over so it's the same on both sides, and or close. Nip that side. Okay, so basically you're taking out some of the bulk that is happening in these corners. That's the point of that. So now we're going to move on to our next step, which is, I find easier to use a scoring board, but you don't have to. You could score these with a ruler or something like that to make it a little easier. I'm gonna make sure that I'm in frame here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you want to go ahead and score it close to where the inside part is. So I'm gonna score this right along all the way. I'm gonna score this all the way, really firmly on both sides of that fold, or that nip that we took out, because that is going to be our fold line to tuck that on the inside. Okay, so that one is scored. And now we're going to do the same thing with this. We'll see how well we did. So this is right on a line. Good job, me. Oops. So that is going like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. A little bit harder when you got so many layers, but that's fine. So you could use a ruler to do this, or you could just eyeball it. That's fine too. All right, now you're going to open this up, and then where you have your score line, so that's your center, you're going to push that in side. Okay, so that's going inside, and then you're going to kind of wiggle it. The inside is not going to want to go super well to start with, but you got this. You just got to fiddle with it a little bit and get it to go inside, because that's what, see why taking that corner out makes it so much easier. So of course this is going to be a fight on this corner because it's really thick. So get that tucked in, and then it'll want to go right on that fold. So as you get it going, you'll see it'll start to be like, oh yeah, that's where I want to live. So you just get that tucked in, and now we're going to work on the other side. And as it goes, it'll just start to fall into place. Okay? Then once you have it in where you want it to, give it a nice firm fold. And you can do the inside part as well. So that's right about there. There. Okay, so that is what we have now. Now we're going to do the other side. So same thing, tuck this in, and then start creasing it right along that fold. If you have a bunch of extra here, you can nip it off a little bit if it's not wanting to go, or glue it down once you get it set. So I'm just pushing it in. And this, you might think you're gonna rip it, you're not. Like, you can be pretty firm with these guys to get them going, but you'll see as soon as it starts to go. So I'm kind of putting one finger on the inside to push out while I'm tucking one in. And then as soon as it starts to go, then it's like, oh yeah, that's what I need to do. I just need to be a new thing. I just want to live my best life as a new pocket, instead of an old worn out envelope that didn't have a use because I was stuck together. Okay. Lots of layers up here. Can I cut this off a little bit? Yeah, I'm just gonna trim this. Oh, maybe I will wait to do that, and I will glue it instead. So that'll help reinforce the top edge too. We'll get that folded around. We'll get it folded where it wants to be. So then get you right around there. There we go. I think part of it was because the way that the envelope itself had adhered to things, it wasn't completely flat. So that's why I was doing that. Okay. So now we have this cute pocket. Gusset pocket can hold lots of goodies. You could make a little flap to go over it. You could do all kinds of fun stuff. Let's do the other one really quick. And then hopefully we'll have some time to decorate. So this one's going to be different because of this flap. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to cut this on my score line because I know that is not needed. So I'm going to nip that off completely right there. Okay, and we'll do this side too. So going on its fold line, and then the crease we made, like so, okay? Because we don't need those bits for what our plan is. Now, same thing. This is a little bit thinner paper, so it might actually behave itself a little bit more. But you could do this with junk mail envelopes as well. And just show another thing to use those junk mail envelopes for. Get in there, friend. All the way. So you can see they're a little bit fiddly, but then once they start to go, they just are like, oh yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want to do. And then there we go. So that side is done. Okay, and we'll do the other side. So tuck in and then tuck in more. Sometimes it's the little bit in the corner that wants to be stinkery. There we go. And where is that going? Fold line is being a little silly here. There it goes. Sometimes if you just kind of start to slide it a little bit slowly, then it'll find that crease where it needs to be. And then once it does, then you can firmly get it nice and flat. Okay, now let's think about this flap. I love it, but it is a little bit too wide. Let's go ahead and trim it straighter. So I'm just going to trim this here on this side. I'm just straightening this out. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and nip this. Oh, I don't know. Let's do, okay, so it has this adhesive strip on it. We don't want that. What we want is, let's put some washi on it really quick. Grab a washi. I think I've got a more plant. Oh yeah, perfect. These are great. Okay, let's do, so we're just going to move right on to decorating this to put into a journal now. That's what we doing. I want kind of a medium width. Butterflies, how about these? Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna cover this and try and line it up as best I can. That looks pretty good. Pretty good, Nance. Good job, you. All right, so that, now we'll trim this off. Now we don't have to worry about that wanting to stick to anything. Okay, and that's already starting to be really cute and fun. So that's gonna go like that. Let's go ahead and give it some fancy corners. So I'm going to do it this way. Nice big tab. Perfect. There we go. Because this is gonna go, I already picked the journal that this little pocket is going into. That's why I knew kind of what size I wanted and whatnot. So let's go ahead and decorate this to get into a journal, now that you guys know how to make these. Get that out of the way. All right, so put that out of there. I grabbed a couple inks to use, and I'm going to hit the edges right away. I'm going to use some purple because that's what it goes with my journal. I'm going to put this in. It's kind of like a plant and succulent journal. So I'm just going to ink the edges just to start giving it something different. Okay, I like that. That's really cute. Cute, cute, cute. And here. Next, I have a cutout already that I thought maybe I could use on here because this is going into a succulent journal. I need to figure out which direction this friend goes. I think I'm going to cut off this big leaf. This is from a succulent calendar that an old succulent calendar that I had. And that's the fun thing about some of these images. You can just trim down to fit what you want sometimes. All right, let's see. Trying to see what, you know what, I'm gonna get that one down the rest of the way. That way I don't have like a funny flat spot. And then we will commence to making something fun on here. I think it kind of goes that direction. Could put it right in the middle. That is kind of cute. Could cheat it down to the corner some. All right, what have we got for scrippy scraps that we can decorate with? Oh, look at this. Oh, that's perfect. Let's do that. Let's trim off this a little. This is fun on here. It's a little straight on the edges. I wonder if we can ruffle it a little. Make it a little more shabby on the edges. Less straight. There we go. Okay, so now we're starting to build up some fun stuff. What else do I have handy? Just using whatever kind of scraps I have over here today, which is fun. Okay. Okay, that's cute. And then I have some other little scrappies that we can add. And then we have some other little tapes and stuff. This is really cute already though. Super cute, yes. Okay, let's just get it down. I'm going to ink the edges with the green here first, though. Because I feel like that could be fun. I also am not a fan, and this is my personal preference, of cut edges being white, like, and standing out. So I like to ink them a little bit because it bothers me. That could be that's just my own thing, guys. Don't feel like you need to do those types of things and ink the edges of stuff. And I don't always. It depends on the image and how I'm feeling. But for this one, I think it needs it. And it gives it another little dimension too. I also feel like I need to, okay, I think it goes like that. If it hangs off the edge, I think that's going to be fine. That and that. And then this is going to go up here on the flap, which is fun. What else do I have handy? Oh, I have a little piece of this lace. which fits the bill. I'm just looking at my desk. That's all I'm doing. I'm only going to use Scrippy Scraps today. Scrippy Scraps on my desk. We're doing it. Okay, let's just get it glued. Glue it down. That fun friend. This may not want to use this glue, but we'll find out. We might put something on top of it too, just to make sure, since it's lace. This glue dries clear. I'm gonna make it a little crookedy. Perfect. All right. Or maybe a word or something if I've got something like that handy. We'll see here in a minute. Next, let's get this friend on. Do I need more in the background? I'm gonna put that like, oh, okay, hold on. That is good. I've got another piece of that. Let me see here quick. Too much, just a strip. Just a little strip. Maybe one over top and one under. I like that idea. Let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm going to do some glue stick on this. Here, like so. Boop. Like that. That'll dry clear under there once it's done. Now, this friend. Now, hopefully I can remember which direction I had this oriented. I feel like it goes like that. That, like that maybe. Okay, cute. And then let's do this strip, whoop, along there. So I thought this was would be a fun way to kind of show you guys a technique and also do a little bit of fun decorating with stuff. We need a little piece of that text up there. I think that's what we need to balance this out a little bit. Okay, yes, perfect. And then we have our odd number of 3. Do I want to put that on here? Oh, we could make like a fun little kind of clustery situation over here. Let's do it. That could go there. And then we need like a little tiny something. What do we need? What do we need? What do we need? Do I have another little scrap? That's fun. Yes. Yes, I do. I have this cute lady in our colors. Oh my gosh. She's amazing and perfect. Little piece of washi here. Hello, beautiful lady. Join our party. Look at what we have done. Just for you. Okay, I love that. How cute. That makes me happy. All right, so now we have a cute little gusseted pocket that we can put all kinds of chunky goodies in there. Boy, that does not look straight on that side, does it? Oh, yeah. Here, let me see if I can scooch that in. It's not the end of the world, Nancy. It's probably fine. You are probably the only one that noticed. You know what? Leave it. Leave it or you're going to rock it. I wasn't as close on my fold line on this side as I could have been. That's what happened. I can see where my little fold went a little bit wonkadoo, and that's fine. That's your word of the day, wonkadoo. Doing its own thing. That's fine. I guess that's where the paper wanted to be. So now I'm going to grab the journal that this friend is going into and we'll put it right in. Oh my goodness. Okay. Take care of that later. So this is the little journal that I've been adding stuff to as I've been making a few things here and there. Using up some scraps, doing other little pocket details and stuff like that. Let's find a busy page. Oh my, look at that. Perfect. So perfect. Let's do it. How pretty. Should we put it in the middle? Let's put it in the middle. And then this will hold all kinds of really fun goodies. Those colors are amazing. Now we could make this pocket so it only opens a little bit, or you can make sure it's got plenty of space. So the crucial part with these types of pockets, if you fasten down the whole back, you'll only have this much space, okay? If you go in the middle, it's better, I think, because it will have some more give. So this is what I do. Right down the center. You can do what you want to do and you can experiment and practice, but this is what I like to do with these, if my glue will work. I just go down in a strip down the middle. You could also use some double-sided tape. You could also use foam tape just down the middle if you want. Otherwise, you could glue the bejesus out of it and glue the whole thing down. But from experience, I will tell you, if you don't have that ease, whoop, wiggles, it's harder to get things in and out if you have like some bigger things that you want to put in these pockets. Because these pockets, depending on if you want to put it in a journal, you could just have this as like a cute little pouch for a gift or something like that too. Super cute for that. But you could put, you know, your treasures that your child brings home into a pocket this big if you wanted to, right? I'm not actually going to put that stick in there, but that is one of the treasures my son brought home from school for me. But yeah, look, you could put some little books in. Boop, boop. And they fit really well, but because you have so much space, I'm still holding it down in the middle right now because it's glued. So hopefully you guys can understand just how much space these have when you put that gusset in there. Do you have to put a gusset in there? No, you don't. But I just wanted to give you guys another idea of something that you could do in your journals. Because if you don't gusset them, you still have a lot of space. Like you still have envelope space, right? And it's great. You can cut them down. You can find smaller envelopes and just use that as an envelope pocket. But this way I thought was super fun. So there you go. Gusseted pockets. I think that's what they're called. I hope that's what they're called. I think it's a gusset, is that bendy part. Anyway, there you go, guys. I hope you learned something or you got inspired by something I did here. And yeah. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And art with your heart, first and foremost. Have a great day.